Crawford could see everything coming. He could see everything coming that Canelo threw at him. He was reading it so well. His guard was so tight as well when he was up at the ropes, when he was exiting, looking to move around.
Looked about the same size, but that was a brilliant performance. And what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him, said forget about it, no chance against a bigger guy like that.
Go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages. Most of them are Crawford.
And nobody's running, ain't nobody's hiding, nobody's ducking. I mean, Crawford's going to be right there, ready to trade blows with Canelo Alvarez. Why did you use that word war? Why are you feeling that way?
Sports analyst Stephen A. Smith delivered a powerful reaction to Canelo Alvarez's shocking defeat against Terence Crawford. He emphasized Crawford had pursued this blockbuster showdown for years to elevate his legacy. On boxing's grandest stage, Crawford validated his dominance, seizing championship glory while dimming Canelo's spotlight. Smith stressed this was more than victory. It was a career-defining, historic triumph.
Division world champion out of Omaha, Nebraska. He's undefeated, 41-0 with 31 KOs, and he begged for this fight. He wanted Canelo bad because to him, it's all about legacy. I'm not speculating. I'm telling you what I know. And how would I know? It's because I interviewed him. Yesterday, we sat down. Here is my conversation with the one and only Terence Crawford challenging Saul Canelo Alvarez, moving up 2 weight divisions to do it.
Renowned boxing analyst Max Kellerman emphasized that Terence Crawford's performance was not only historic, but also career-defining. Breaking down Canelo Alvarez's shocking loss, Kellerman explained the magnitude as equivalent to moving up dangerous weight classes and facing a relentless opponent. He stressed that true champions pursue high-risk challenges without fearing size, speed, or power. Crawford showcased that fearless mentality, proving why no elite fighter dared to call him out for years. According to Kellerman, this pay-per-view spectacle solidified Crawford's championship legacy, elevating his status within global sports media and positioning him among the most respected icons in boxing history.
Giving up or having to jump up 2 more weight classes and fight a guy who might put him in a dogfight, a real one, for the first time in his career.
When we get put in that position, we go find opposition to make that happen. You understand me? So when we go looking for the opposition, we're not concerned about how big they are, how fast they are, how strong they are. We feel like we got enough that we can bring to the table with anybody. That night I fought John Ruiz, I didn't care who was over there. Whoever they brought out that locker room was going to get it. You understand me? That's just what it was. And I think Bud kind of has that feeling. Now, Bud, you got to remember, has been around for a long time. Nobody called him out. You understand me? All the time Floyd came at the boxing floor, never said I want Bud Crawford.
No one ever said his name.
Hey, all I know is one thing. Israel Mazarmov, he didn't get it. He barely lost.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, but nobody called his name.
Shakur Stevenson's respect for Terence Crawford has always been evident. But after Crawford's historic pay-per-view victory against Canelo Alvarez, his admiration grew deeper. Stevenson explained that Crawford not only fulfilled every bold promise, but also proved why he's considered boxing's gold standard. From his earliest professional bouts, Stevenson carefully studied Crawford's elite training discipline, ring IQ, and championship mindset. Witnessing his idol secure such a monumental win reinforced the truth that greatness in boxing requires relentless preparation, consistency, and mental toughness. For Stevenson, Crawford remains more than a world champion. He's a mentor, role model, and symbol of excellence.
Cook Canelo. He said he was going to outbox him. He did exactly what I called years ago, and tonight he proved that he's the greatest boxer that ever lived.
Well, in the interview that didn't work, you said you felt like going on a run watching that tonight. How much inspiration can you take from someone like Terence?
I take everything from I've been around him since I was a kid, and just watching that greatness.
Stephen A. Smith emphasized Terence Crawford's relentless mindset ahead of the blockbuster Canelo Alvarez fight. Unlike many fighters who might demand a superstar adjust weight for comfort, Crawford boldly accepted the 168-pound challenge. For him, this wasn't about convenience. It was about legacy, marketing value, and pay-per-view impact. Smith reminded the audience that Canelo remains an elite global brand, holding championships across divisions. By targeting Canelo's crown at super middleweight without hesitation, Crawford showcased ambition, audience engagement, and promotional power, proving his pursuit of greatness aligns with sponsorship revenue, advertising potential, and the most lucrative stage boxing can offer.
31-0, Molly, with 31 knockouts. He's taken on all comers. I asked him, you're moving up in weight. Why would you not try to get Canelo to come down from 168 to 160 to meet you halfway, since his last fight was Crawford's last fight was at 154? Crawford said, I want what he has. I want to go take it. I don't want to make, I don't want to making concessions and alterations. I'm coming to take what he has. And you look at him, and no one believes that he can't pull it off. He can box, he can punch, he's smart, he's elite, and he wants Canelo. He begged Canelo for this fight.
Aid Oladipo underscored the premium shift in global perception surrounding Terence Crawford. Before the bout, analysts criticized him as undersized, aging, and incapable of generating impact against the dominant, high-revenue brand of Canelo Alvarez at a higher division. Yet after the fight, those same experts pivoted, celebrating Crawford's breakthrough. Aid stressed that Crawford earned every investment of recognition, moving from lighter classes into the most competitive, monetizable stage against Canelo was no shortcut. It was high-risk strategy. By outperforming decisively, Crawford proved market dominance comes not from size or age, but from skill, discipline, and unstoppable performance.
Crawford did it again a few hours ago against Canelo. And what makes it even special or more special for Crawford is that he did it jumping up, as we know, a couple of weight classes. He did it against one of an all-time or another fellow all-time great. And he did it against someone who was undisputed and still a pound-for-pound top 10 guy. That's what Crawford did, people. So, all those things people were saying in the lead up to this fight, Canelo's going to be too strong, Canelo's too experienced, Crawford's going to be 38, all that. You have to remember all of that when you give Crawford his flowers. Like, don't like, oh, well, Canelo looks old. No. I don't want to hear any of that. I've started to see a few people on Twitter start to kind of sort of find excuses already. No. Remember everything you said, because Crawford deserves all of that. All of that. Crawford was incredible. Honestly, in the pocket, he was at times showing Canelo, no, I'm stronger than you. I'm going to bully you. Oh, you think you're going to get me in the clinch because you're Mr. 168? No, look at the size of me. I'm jacked as well. I'm swole. And he was moving Canelo around. So by doing that, he got his respect. He didn't switch to orthodox once, stayed in the southpaw stance because he realized early, oh, Canelo don't like this. Canelo does not like this southpaw stance. Canelo's tripping over himself. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to switch it. No, I like this work. I'm going to stay here. On the ropes, it's like, okay, come in. Because when you come in, I've got that as well. And I can hurt you as well. Spinning off the ropes. His jab was fantastic. They put up the jab numbers. He was out jabbing Canelo like, it was almost like 10-1. Maybe even 20-1. It was fantastic. And when he needed to land those power shots, he was landing those power shots. It was an incredible performance.
The Wade Concept analyst delivered a powerful breakdown, rejecting the lazy claim that Canelo's defeat was simply the downfall of an aging fighter. He emphasized that Crawford is actually older, proving age isn't a valid excuse. Entering the ring, Canelo held clear advantages in size, strength, and divisional experience, yet still lost. That fact highlights Crawford's brilliance, not Canelo's decline. WDE argued this was about Crawford's skill, dominance, and elite adaptability. By dismantling excuses, he made it clear Crawford's victory was authentic, marketable, historic, and a defining moment in boxing, delivering content fans and advertisers value globally.
More tight, more fundamentally sound. While Canelo, even when he was able to get to range, which wasn't a lot, it wasn't often, he was having a hard time landing clean because everything was super wide and out here and to the body out there. And Crawford would either circle out to that same side, to Canelo's lead hand side. He would circle away because Canelo would step straight to Crawford and chase him and not necessarily cut him off. And even when he threw that hook, I was looking for the hook from Canelo, right hand as he stepped through, right? Corral with the lead hand, bang the right hand because you're fighting a southpaw. So, yeah, your jab may not be as effective in landing and managing distance and all those things, even though for Terence it kind of was. For Canelo, I was expecting a lot more of that right hand down the middle and over the top, and him jabbing his way, feint jab right hand, and then that lead hook that I thought he would be able to corral Crawford, because Crawford did want to move away from Canelo. He did. He wanted to move away from that power hand. Smart to do. Canelo never took that extra step to step outside of Crawford's lead foot. Again, that orthodox southpaw matchup, it's always going to be a battle of that lead foot. He never took that next step to get outside of that lead foot and then step through Crawford, step to his left where Crawford was going and land his right hand. He just felt like he was falling off to his right with his right hand, and once he fell off to his right after he threw the right hand, there was no follow-ups because he was off balance and Crawford was out the gate and circling back to reset the action. This was a masterful display from Terence Crawford. And again, I looked at this fight, and I don't want to do the thing where I said, oh, Canelo's washed. He's over the top. He's old. Terence Crawford's older than Canelo. Is he as weathered as far as fights are concerned? No. But you can only do one thing when talking about this fight, and that is give credit to Terence Crawford. If you want to say Canelo looked old, that's fine. That's on you. I'm not going to say that.
Former world champion Carl Froch delivered premium sports analysis on Terence Crawford's tactical brilliance during the championship fight. Froch explained that after the 6th and 7th rounds, Crawford shifted gears with pay-per-view intensity, pressing forward to claim greater ring dominance. His powerful jab served as the decisive weapon, disrupting Canelo's rhythm while forcing him defensively onto the back foot. Froch praised Crawford's exclusive breakdown of timing, noting his ability to adjust with intelligence. Instead of allowing momentum to fade, Crawford aggressively seized control, showcasing elite boxing highlights.
Combination punches on the back foot, sort of dictating the pace. And then after about round 6 or 7, Canelo Alvarez knew, 1 second, I need a little freshener. Canelo knew he had to step on the gas. He knew he needed to put the fight on its front foot and take it to Terence Crawford and start to try and catch him and bang him on. And when he headbutted Crawford, I thought that could be the start of it. A little bit of a nut, get that down. Yeah, I don't know if there was a cut, but the referee stopped and had a look. And I thought, now Canelo's going to step on the gas. And he did that. He stepped on the gas, he started getting in close, and he started landing a few more shots than he was in the previous rounds, but it wasn't enough. Terence Crawford was able to catch and counter. He was landing a sneaky uppercut from the southpaw stance. He was dominating behind his jab, and then when Canelo stuck it on him, he was dominating up close in the pocket. He was beating him at his own game. Canelo Alvarez must have been fuming in there. He must have thought to himself, what can I do? He couldn't do anything. He needed to pick up the pace, put the pressure on, and sustain the attacks. And I don't want to take anything away from Terence Crawford, but Canelo Alvarez couldn't do that. He couldn't do it for long enough. Crawford looked like he could have done 20 rounds in there tonight at that pace, the way he was dictating and controlling. And Canelo Alvarez was getting marked up, he was breathing heavy, he was getting tired, he was reaching with shots, and he was getting torn apart. It was an absolute masterclass by Terence Crawford. Canelo tried, Canelo came, he had a go, but to be honest, I don't want to rain on the parade of Crawford, but Canelo Alvarez, for me, is well past his best now. He's seen better days. He hasn't got the pace, he hasn't got the fitness to sustain the attack. Afterwards in the interview, he said, I felt great, it's great, I feel good. And don't forget, Crawford's a couple of years older. So I think it's the miles on the clock. Canelo Alvarez had like 67 fights. I know Crawford's had a fair few fights, but he's about 20 fights behind him. So the miles on the clock have caught up with Canelo Alvarez. He's feeling the pace, he's feeling the age.
Boxing experts hailed Terence Crawford's triumph over Canelo Alvarez as a strategic masterclass in sports intelligence. Analysts highlighted Crawford's elite preparation, sharp counters, and flawless execution that neutralized Canelo's power. Instead of reacting, Crawford anticipated every move with premium precision, keeping control from start to finish. His seamless defense transformed into offense, leaving Canelo predictable, pressured, and off balance. This wasn't luck. It was calculated dominance built on years of championship experience and advanced fight analytics. Crawford's performance reinforced his exclusive status as one of boxing's greatest tacticians, cementing a legacy of elite skill, discipline, and global sports supremacy.
Constantly throwing the lead left hook to try and cut this off. And when he did get his foot to the outside, that was an option. But over time, Crawford, as he always does, as the genius boxer that he is and is able to do, starts to find those counter punches. And there was two counters in particular that I noted during the fight that I felt were absolutely key for Crawford. The first was the counter off that left hook to the body. Now, Canelo did land these sometimes. That left hook he throws, the lead left hook, is quite unpredictable. But he started to land it quite effectively to the body from time to time. But what Crawford was doing was he was catching it with his elbow, and then he'd throw the straight left hand back at Canelo as a counter shot. He'd throw multiple shots. And what I really loved about his counter work was he'd never throw more than singles or twos or threes. He never got carried away. He never did too much with Canelo. Don't get me wrong, though. Canelo was still defensively very astute in this fight, but he simply didn't have the foot speed to get to Crawford. He couldn't do it. And he didn't want to use his own jab because I believe Crawford's lead hand is so effective that southpaw stance really meant he could dominate the fight with his own lead hand. Canelo's not a massive jabber himself, but now that he was fighting someone closer to his size, I thought he might try and implement a jab, but he didn't because Crawford's counters were just too fast and too good. There was a couple of moments in this fight, and I said in my prediction, I thought that you'd see Crawford in moments looking absolutely electric and just outclassing Canelo, looking too fast and lighting him up. And we saw that. I'll never forget the beginning of round 9 where he actually stood in the pocket with Canelo and he just rolled with the shots and he was throwing counters. It was absolutely brilliant. But the second counter that he used that was really effective was he'd allowed Canelo to throw that single right hand, that straight right hand, that backhand for Canelo, make him miss and come back with his own straight left hand over the top. I also thought that Crawford stabbing to the body was very good. He'd throw straight shots to the body, and that was something I predicted from the Lara fight that he would be able to do. That was also where I got the idea with the exits that I felt would be useful. And the reason we knew they'd be useful and important was because of Saunders just not really dealing with them too well.
Dan Raphael offered a powerful analysis of how the championship fight was viewed before it happened. Many critics and boxing analysts dismissed the possibility of Terence Crawford defeating Canelo Alvarez, yet Crawford never accepted that narrative. Raphael highlighted that Crawford didn't see a major size gap or power disadvantage. Instead, he approached the bout with confidence, treating Canelo as an equal opponent. That fearless mindset fueled his strategy inside the ring. Raphael emphasized that belief often separates winners from losers. By rejecting outside doubt, Crawford stunned fans, disrupted betting predictions, and redefined what's achievable in boxing history.
Few rounds where he really started to back the supposed bigger guy up, although for me, they looked about the same size. But that was a brilliant performance, and what can you say? I mean, you got to give him his credit. He created a lot of history. He dreamt this fight. He willed it to happen. A lot of people, not me, but a lot of people laughed at him, said, forget about it, no chance against a bigger guy like that. But he showed his greatness.
You spoke about looking to back up Canelo in the fight, as you mentioned there, before it took place. How much of a surprise was it, though, just to see how comfortable he felt doing so?
I think it took him a little while to figure out that, you know what, he doesn't hit as hard as some people were saying, and that I can get in and out, and I'm going to be able to stalk him and walk him down a little bit. And he had Canelo extremely frustrated. And so I guess I was a little surprised he was able to do it, especially in those last couple of rounds. But he definitely was the guy that was going forward and back in. I mean, I've been watching Canelo for his entire career as a known fighter. This is my 24th Canelo Alvarez fight in person. I can't say that against anybody, including big punchers like Triple G and Kovalev and people like that saw him get forced back. That's not normal for a fight with Canelo Alvarez.
Dan, given your time covering Canelo Alvarez and those defeats that he's had in his career, but Bivol tonight amongst other kind of contentious decisions, how much is this one going to hurt? Because there's always been those question marks for the last few years. Is he on the decline? Now there's going to be more question marks. Is this the end of a road for Canelo, certainly at the elite level?
I mean, listen, and this is not a disrespect to Canelo, because everybody who has ever read me, followed me, listened to me knows I love Canelo. I think he's one of the greats of all time. I think you can make a really good argument.
Brian Bomac McIntyre closed the conversation with a powerful, emotional statement about his fighter's iconic legacy. He declared that Terence Crawford has always been the greatest of all time, and this victory simply broadcasted that truth to a global digital audience. Bomac highlighted that while Crawford deserves rest after such an intense, viral journey, retirement isn't on the table yet. Instead, the champion will recover before choosing his premium, profitable next step. For Bomac, the world now finally recognizes the greatness he witnessed daily in training, a moment of vindication for years of sacrifice, discipline, and undeniable dominance.
Bomac, you've been training Crawford for years. Do you think Okay, is he the greatest of all time? Because now people are putting him in the conversation of greatest of all time.
You know that.
You think so?
You know I know.
Okay, what's next for him? You've been training for years. What's next for him? The fans want to know. What's next for him?
Break. Take a
A
break.
break?
Take
Is he
a break.
retired or is he going to keep fighting?
He just got to take a break.
How are you celebrating? Listen, congratulations to you. Listen, congratulations to you. How are you celebrating?
Just go have dinner with my wife, man.
Okay, well, are you trainer of the year?
I'll let the critics worry about that.
Last question. Is Terence Crawford retired or is he going to keep fighting?
Oh, he's going to keep fighting.
He's going to keep fighting?
Yeah.
You're the man. Be man. Hey, congratulations. Enjoy the win.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching today's content. Subscribe for premium updates next.